Very often I feel like music actually knows me better than I know myself. Hello everyone, welcome to the 6th episode of Mind the Creatives, and today we're going to explore one of my favorite musical activities, which involves mindfulness and journaling while listening to music. I only really started exploring mindfulness and journaling about a year ago now, and it was because I was in a negative phase where I felt there was so much self-judgment and also a misalignment between who I was behaving like and who I really felt I was, or who I really wanted to be. And it was also around that time that I really started feeling like what makes me the happiest in my job is to work in community music settings, particularly with vulnerable adults and people living with dementia. And so I started realizing that if I wanted to do more of that work that requires so much genuine love and compassion and honesty, then I needed to be in a better place with myself too. Because it feels really hard to give ourselves and our love to others when we are struggling with ourselves inside. So what I'm sharing with you today is a little bit based on the science behind music and mindfulness and journaling, but is mostly based on my journey with all of it. So I really hope that you can take something out of this and that you feel inspired to try it too. So why practicing mindfulness and journaling? To me, I really believe that mindfulness and journaling are unique tools to help us to know ourselves and to learn to accept ourselves as we are in that moment. Because it's only through that acceptance that we can actually find the solutions and find the change that we need to find. And if we do want to change or learn or grow, we do need that self-knowledge. We need to know where we are and where we want to get. And for me, particularly during this year, this hard year that we're all going through, mindfulness and journaling have been really crucial. They allow me to identify the problems or the struggles or the negative thought patterns, and they allow me to look at them objectively from a place of calm. And that's, to me, the only place where I can look for the right solutions. If I'm just nervous or freaking out or scared, I just can't see clearly. So why do I think that everyone should try practicing mindfulness and journaling? Well, first of all, research shows the immense benefits that mindfulness and journaling can have both on our mental and physical health. But to me personally, the greatest benefit of both mindfulness and journaling is the deep self-knowledge that you can get from it. Because the purpose of both practices is to find a space where you can be entirely and completely yourself. So there's no filter. You're not trying to come up with beautiful thoughts or beautiful text. You're just expressing yourself as it comes. And then another thing is that it's very different to think and to actually see things written down. Actually writing your thoughts allows you to look at them as an observer. So you're looking at them with clarity in a more objective way. And to me, that has been the key to learn to accept my thoughts and also to look for solutions to anything that keeps coming up in my journal or any negative thought that keeps, disturbing my mind. And that's why to me, journaling and mindfulness are not only a place where we find self-acceptance, but also solutions. And as time goes on, what I'm really starting to see and to realize is that my thoughts don't define me and my fears don't define me. And if I learn to accept them, they slowly start losing their power, and I can start choosing if I want them to be there or not. So why mindful journaling with music? Well, as a music lover, honestly, I just started wondering what happens if I bring those three passions together. So mindfulness, journaling, and music. And that's how I came up with this activity that now is one of my very favorites, because I feel like through music I can very often find things about myself that I wasn't even aware of. This mindful journaling to music activity is all about being mindful of our emotions and our sensations as we listen to a piece of music. And then at the end, taking a moment to write down whatever stays with us after that experience. So what I really want us to explore is how we can find that space of openness and vulnerability, and a place where through music we can just be entirely ourselves, no matter what comes up. Because I really think that whatever comes up during this activity is exactly what you need to be thinking about and what you need to be noticing in your thoughts or in your sensations. Mindful journaling to music. How do I do it? So the first and most important thing is to find a space where you feel safe and comfortable, and perhaps when you have less distractions. Then you choose a piece of music. So it doesn't really matter if it's something new or something that you know, but the one thing that I recommend is to perhaps start by trying with instrumental music, as I really feel like lyrics can just add on another layer of another something for your brain to be worrying about, when what you really want is to be focusing on your feelings and your emotions and your physical sensations. And then you want to bring some focus and some calmness into your mind and your body. So what I usually do is to take a few minutes to do a few breathing exercises to calm your mind and your body and prepare yourself to notice anything that arises. And then just play your song. And all you're going to do is to be present with that music. Gradually start noticing if your body reacted to the music in any way. If you notice for example, any tension, perhaps in your shoulders. My shoulders tend to accumulate a lot of tension. Or maybe your jaw. How's your heartbeat? Is your heart beating faster, slower, or maybe the same? What about your breathing? So just notice all of that, but notice not with the intention of changing anything, but with the intention of just really listening to your body, to what it's trying to tell you. Then, as the music goes on, start shifting your attention towards your mind. Notice if there's any thought arising, or perhaps memories, and notice what emotions come up from that music. Again, simply notice. We're not trying to change or to push anything away. We're just noticing, letting it pass. No self-judgment. All we're doing is to gain awareness of our body and our mind. And finally, when the music is over, just take a moment to just be in silence and reflect. And this is where the journaling comes in. You're just going to have a think about what stays with me after this experience. And then you can write down whatever comes to your mind. Again, not filtering anything. You might write 2 completely random words, or you might write 2 pages of all the things that came to your mind. It really doesn't matter. And just remember, your journal doesn't have to make sense, doesn't have to be clear, it doesn't have to be beautiful. Our minds are not always beautiful and happy. A lot of times it's the opposite, and just being able to see that and express that is what gives me the clarity to learn to accept it and deal with it. So how does it all sound? Should we do it together? I'm going to play the music that I recorded, and I'm also going to put on the screen some suggestions of questions for you to think about. I really, really hope you enjoy this. So now is your time to have a little pause in silence with yourself and just briefly reflect what is alive with you after listening to this music, and just write down whatever you feel like writing down, whatever feels right to you. This is your space. And just before you go and do your activity, I just wanted to say thank you so much for being here and doing this with me, and I really hope you got something great out of this and that perhaps it becomes one of your new things to do with yourself. If you're enjoying these, also keep an eye, because I'll be sharing one last creative musical activity with you. So I'll hopefully see you there. Bye bye.